Good morning, USA family. We are continuing our Thea Stilton Mouseford Academy book, Sea Turtle Rescue. Today we are reading chapters 13 through 15. Chapter 13, A Nest to Protect. As soon as they returned to Mouseford, the Thea sisters, Mike, Professor Van Kraken, James Ratterin, and the other students met in the Lizard Lounge. Everyone was worn out from the rescue, but the storm was still raging, and this was not the time to rest. "We did good work this evening," James Ratterton began. "Thanks to the floating barrier, the seaweed won't reach the beach." At those words, the students all cheered. The nest was safe. "Wait a second, everyone," the professor exclaimed. "I love your enthusiasm, but our work is not yet done. The eggs could hatch any moment now. The little turtles take at least 2 days to reach the surface. We should take turns keeping an eye on the nest during this delicate period." "Paulina and I could take the first shift tonight," Nikki volunteered. Craig stood up. "You and Paulina have already done enough today. You should rest for a bit." "Craig's right," said Sheen. "You go catch some Z's. We'll take care of the nest." "Thanks, Ratlet," said Nikki gratefully. While the others figured out a schedule of shifts to check the beach, Paulina went to the window. "Let's hope the weather improves. This storm could be a catastrophe for the hatchlings." Nikki put a paw around her friend. "Don't worry, Paulina. I know our turtles can do it." Operation Nest Watch. Protect the nest from predators. Monitor the temperature of the sand. Keep an eye on the weather. Schedule of shifts. Wednesday. Night shift, Ellie, Ryder. Thursday, day, Ron, Tanya, night, Sheen, Craig. A bitter surprise. 2 days later, a warm golden light filtered through the shutters of Nikki, Violet, and Paulina's room, waking them from a deep sleep. "Finally, a beautiful day of sunshine!" exclaimed Paulina, jumping out of bed and throwing open the window. "Thank good mouse! I don't think I could stand another gloomy day." "Me neither," Violet agreed. "Especially since the first turtles might be born tonight," said Nikki, rolling over. She rubbed her eyes and looked at the alarm clock on her nightstand. "I know our turn doesn't begin until 8, but I want to do a quick check of the beach. Let's call the others." "I was just thinking the same thing," replied Paulina. But I bet Colette and Pam are still sleeping." Just then, Nikki's cell phone emitted a beep, beep. It was a message from Colette. Their friends had had the same idea. Nikki, Violet, and Paulina threw on some clothes and hurried to meet the other mouselets. Together they headed down to the beach. But when they arrived, the Thea sisters found a bitter surprise waiting for them. "Moldy brie on a baguette!" exclaimed Pam, wide-eyed with shock. "What happened?" The mouselets couldn't believe the sight before them. The beach was completely covered by debris washed in from the sea. Craig and Sheen ran to meet them. "Mouselets, I'm so glad you're here," said Craig. "Last night there was an enormous sea storm." "We did what we could to protect the nest," said Sheen, "but as you can see, the beach is in terrible condition." "So what do we do?" asked Paulina. She was discouraged. Broken logs, heaps of seaweed, branches, and other debris from the sea storm cluttered the seashore. There was no way newborn sea turtles would be able to cross the beach safely. It was just too big a mess. "Maybe if we get right to work, we can clean it up a bit," Violet suggested. "I love your spirit, Vi, but we can never be able to do it," said Nikki, shaking her snout. "Look at this place. It's a disaster. Even if everyone pitches in, it would take too long." There was a moment of silence. Nobody knew what to say. Finally, Pam squeaked up. "Okay, this is it. We've got to think of something. No idea is too crazy. After everything we've done to protect these turtles, we can't let them down now." There was another moment of silence as all the young rodents tried to think of a way to get the beach clear before nightfall. "Maybe," Sheen began, Then he shook his snout. Forget it. It would never work. Just then a big smile spread across Colette's snout. Nicky is right, she said excitedly. Alone, we'll never be able to clean up the beach in time for the eggs to hatch. But we're not the only ones who care about the turtle nest. Think back for a minute. A few days ago, when we first learned about the seaweed emergency, all we had to do was ask the fisher mice. They immediately agreed to help us with the floating barrier. That's true, reflected Sheen. So let's try to get as many rodents involved as we can. We can ask everyone on the island to help, Colette replied. Thea's sisters calling. The Thea sisters, Craig and Sheen, immediately returned to Mouseford, where they told their friends about the sea storm and Colette's idea. But how can we get out word that we need everyone to help? Asked Mike. Simple, responded Pam. Let's make flyers. Great idea, Pam, said Paulina. I'll also post it on the school blog. She opened her laptop and began typing furiously. And I'll work the phone, said Colette, pulling out her mouse phone. I'm going to send a group text to the whole school. While Paulina and Colette worked the internet, the rest of the students began designing flyers. Half an hour later, they photocopied a stack of papers that read, Seashell Beach needs you. Help us clean it up. Groups of students scattered through town to distribute them. Come help us. We'll see you this afternoon at Seashell Beach, exclaimed Violet, piling a purple flyer to a family. I don't know if I can help you clean, a young mouseling told her seriously. I promised my grandfather I would go visit him. It's okay. You have an important obligation, said Violet, smiling. I'm sure that the turtles will understand. Unless, perhaps your grandfather would like to come help too? Sure, the little mouseling replied. Meanwhile, Mike was filming the Thea sisters as they distributed the flyers. And he realized the importance of their work. If the sea turtle hatchlings made it, it would really be thanks to the tender-hearted determination of these Fabulous 5 friends. And that's all for today, USA family. Thank you for listening. Until I see you again, have a great summer.